Welcome to another M6 tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create a credit memo. There are two types of credit memos you can create. The first being a full credit memo when material is rejected and needs to be sent back, and a partial credit memo for price adjustments between a customer and a vendor. The first credit memo that I'll be showing you how to create is the full credit memo. To do so, go to the invoice that you need to create a credit memo for, click its Form tab, and from the menu, select Credit Memo. After clicking Credit Memo, a dialog box will appear. This dialog box is here to tell you that the credit memo will be defaulted to the full invoice amount of the invoice that you selected. Once you verify this is the correct invoice, click OK to open and load the form. Once the form loads, you will notice a few things. The material information shown is from the invoice that you selected. The first thing that we need to do to create the credit memo is to enter a description. For this case, we'll be rejecting the material due to it being out of tolerance, so I'll enter a description now. Next, I will go along the information verifying that the weight and prices are correct. Once that I verify that these are correct, I will go up to the top and save the form. And then to return to the M6 panel, I will hit back. Once back at the M6 panel, you will notice that a new Credit Memo Form tab has been added to your Credit Memo column. You will also notice the running total above the Credit Memo Form tabs reflects the new Credit Memo creation. The final step of creating this credit memo would then be to create a receiver to re-receive the rejected material. Next, we'll be creating a partial credit memo or a price adjustment. The process to create a partial credit memo or a price adjustment is the same. We will go to the invoice that we want to create a credit memo for, click Credit Memo. The dialog box will then ask us to verify that the invoice selected is the one that we do indeed want to create a credit memo for. We will click OK to create a new form. Once in the form, we will be deleting all of the material information since we just need to have a description saying that this is a price adjustment. I'll enter that now. And then I will go over to Price and enter the price adjustment, verifying that the price has a negative sign in front of the price entered. I will then enter a unit of measure code. In this case, since it's a flat charge, it'll be a lot charge, L, for unit of measure. We will delete the previous full amount. Notice the running total is adjusted and will be extended once we click Save to reflect our price. I also want you to notice that the reference box on this credit memo has the invoice that it is referring to where the price adjustment is being created. Once we want to return back to the M6 panel, I'll simply go up to the top and click Back. The final step of this tutorial will be to look at the customer aging report found in your customer panel. To access your customer panel, click Customer found on row 2. Once the panel is loaded, you will see various reports that you can run to find customer data. We'll be running the aging report found here. To run the report, simply click the box that says Aging. Once the form is opened, you will notice that I have a VAUST customer code in the filter bar found on row 3 for Vaughan Steel, since every invoice that we used for this demo was from Vaughan Steel. Please also note in column K the reference numbers referring to the invoices that we selected. The first credit memo that we created was for the full amount of an invoice with material being rejected and sent back. Note in this aging report it is displayed as such, with the credit memo total equaling the invoice total, preceded by a negative sign to show that it has been rejected and being sent back. The next credit memo that we created was a price adjustment, or a partial credit memo. Please note the invoice number above that it is referring to is for the full amount, and the credit memo is for the partial amount, also being led by a negative dollar sign to show the price change. To get back to the M6 panel and to complete this tutorial, simply hit the back button found at the top. This is the end of the credit memo tutorial. I want to thank you for following along in another M6 tutorial.